Hello, everyone. Welcome to the cafe. My name is Succuleaf, but you can just call me Leaf. I'm joined today by Stray Rogue.
Hello.
And Pixel Moon.
Hi.
And in a little bit, we'll be playing some AI Somnium Files NirvanA initiative. But first, we do what we always do, and we have a little chat in the beginning.
Talk too much.
Yep.
That can't shut up disease.
Yep.
Ugh. You know what's really fucking funny? As soon as you started stream, I ran out of drink.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm a
Hello,
fucking
Marco.
loser like that.
Hello, Marco.
The Sunyon is here.
Welcome to the stream.
Why do you have a cactus on your head?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
I'm just fucking around with my assets.
Hmm.
Look, I can have Sailor Moon and the whole crew on my face.
Well then.
I don't know why I have this loaded in here, but I do.
Sailor Scout Vision.
Of course. I also can open up to Crystal Tokyo with Sailor Pluto with the time door.
I see.
I got all sorts of shit.
You really do. Meanwhile, I hardly ever use those.
Gifts would work in there.
Ah.
I mean, like, since you're all fancy and I'm all not, I always like to put some flair on.
I see.
So, I mean, like, I really should probably, like, actually utilize that other skin I have. Other outfit, rather.
I think your OBS stopped responding. Or your...
Me?
Oh, no.
Moon.
That was because I had opened up the ad tab. Apparently, it freaks out if I do that.
Yeah, if you bring out the ad, then it just freezes your screen. Me personally, though, I'm just happy to be here, you know?
Me? Gongaga.
Me? Gongaga.
I don't understand your guys' memes.
Uh,
I'm apparently too old for it.
Meme. I just picked it up from Zach and Dart. It's from Final Fantasy VII stuff, though, so...
Yeah, Zach says it.
Like, the Zach with a C.
Yeah.
And a K.
Mm-hmm.
Aqua's boyfriend.
No, not Aqua's boyfriend.
Aqua isn't even in that game.
I mean, but Zach is in the game that she's in. But yeah, Zach is also, like, a little teeny bopper in that game, which makes that a little awkward.
Well,
yeah.
Zach is like an adult, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, it's... the whole thing with Zach, though, in that game, is he keeps trying to ask Aqua out.
Oh, I see. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I had never heard about that.
Don't you remember in Birth by Sleep?
No, because I never played Aqua's route.
No, we got hard stopped by Terra.
Yeah.
Too stupid to live.
Bastard man. Moon, did you see that one post I did about Terra and Xehanort?
Yes. You sent it directly to me to make sure I suffered as much as possible.
Yeah. Someone replied to that. What'd they say? Let me find it real quick.
I just screamed at you.
Oh, no,
hello, I'm Moona P.
Someone replied to the actual tweet. Oh yes, someone said measures Terra with a measuring tape. Yes, perfect.
Why?
Because he's gonna obliterate the himbo and take his body.
Oh, I see.
Amazing.
Hello, I'm Moona P, though.
You sure are.
I love this asset that Scott made for me. It's just like, what a good fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Gremlin.
So what did you guys do this week?
Broke my sleep schedule so hard that in order to take care of my husband.
Huh.
Other than that, let's see. I played Final Fantasy, and I played
Final Fantasy.
No, there was another thing I played. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh no, not played. I watched The Last Unicorn again.
Oh.
And that was pretty poggers.
Thank you for the subscription, Scoot. I'm not reading that out loud,
Yay!
though.
What did he say?
He said,
Oh,
pee
no,
pee
don't
poo poo.
don't read it out loud. God damn it. I was finding it in chat. I didn't mean for you to read it actually. Scott's laughing, IRL.
Yeah, I figured he
I
would.
think you actually just made his week. Oh, so I've seen more movies than I've seen in a long time. So I got to see the last Jurassic World Park.
That's
Which,
okay.
I mean, it's because it's got all the people from both of the movie sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, well, except for the old man who died, but and the kids, but like that was not as bad a movie as I thought it was gonna be. It had significantly less Chris Pratt, thank God, and was silly. It was just silly. It was a silly movie. But then Scott and I also watched a movie called Robot Jocks, which is spelled like this. I see gigantic, massive pee-pee. Thank you, Martha. Robot.
No, that's relevant.
And
Is
and
it?
the fucking
Gigantic, massive pee-pee is relevant.
To what?
I'll explain in a bit once you're done with your story.
Okay, so the Robot Jocks movie is basically Pacific Rim before Pacific Rim, kind of, in terms of like giant robot scope, because it's like very much like that premise, except for they're not fighting kaiju, they're fighting each other for because like war is so passé, because like most of the world's population is dead. And
Mhm.
like literally in the set dressing, like there's a bunch of advertisements with pregnant women on them, and one of them is like Natal or Natal. And like at one point the protagonist goes to visit his brother, and his brother's wife is pregnant, and he goes, "Hey," and he's like, talking about the baby, and she's like, "Oh, we're just doing our part." And she's got like 5 other kids in the background. So they don't tell you straight out that the population is super fucked up, but you get that from like the set dressing and how they talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. It has really good crunchy sort of like, it had a budget. It was a real movie, like a real ass fucking movie, but it just had a terrible fucking ending. Like that was an embarrassing conclusion to the film. And then I watched an even worse film with Scott from 2007 called D War. It was not a pornography. It was about dragons, and it was made by a South Korean filmmaker, with the aims to make a global spanning movie series. So his answer to that was have the Korean cast reincarnate into the white cast. And then this lady, like the budget for the special effects was so fucking good. And they had also like real actors in it, like, but just not the main protagonist and the object of the thing that wanted to eat her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the conclusion of the film is also like a really flaccid ending. It's basically, the movie amounts to, this snake has to eat this girl, and because this dude fell in love with her, that didn't happen. And this other snake wants to eat the girl for, like, the girl has ultimate power inside her that came down from heaven. And if you eat the girl, you get the big dragon the big power to become a real dragon. And so these snakes want to eat the girl, but there's only a good snake and a bad snake. And the bad snake is the one you see through the entire film. And it's a pretty decent kaiju flick in terms of that. Like, the snake is really well animated. But for some reason, the snake also has a magical army and a dude that looks like the version of Bowser from the live-action Mario movie from the 90s. Like,
we don't talk about that.
White.
We don't talk about that.
I talk about that. That's Curse's favorite film. And Yeah, it's a really weird film. Really weird. They're making a sequel that is projected to be out in 2028. So that'll only be 11 years, or not 11 years, 21 years after the movie came out. It's the movie. It was very much a movie. It's better than some other movies I've seen, but that's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us about the gigantic, massive pee-pee. Leaf.
All right. So, yesterday during D&D, which you can view on Twitch, I believe, because Voss has VODs of them, and if not, then it'll be up on YouTube in some matter of time. The crew decided that maybe they wanted a boat. Maybe. But they couldn't afford the boat. However, the reason why the shipmaster was willing to negotiate is because of the name of the boat. So the crew goes to check out what the name of the boat is, and the name of the boat is Wrench Wench.
Okay.
So the group is just like, alright, we need to come up with a new name for this boat. And the first thing that came to mind for Lorenzo was Dr. Plop Plop.
Oh no.
And
Lorenzo's a special kind of dude.
everyone was against that.
Yeah.
Everyone was against that, including the DM. And he's just like, it's fine. We'll just shorten it to Dr. PP.
No.
So, Arya, on the other hand, suggests, because I'm a 999 nerd, Arya suggests the gigantic. And everyone else was like, the gigantic what? And Lorenzo's just like, oh, the gigantic PP.
Well, that's not as bad as the other thing.
And then Robin, being Marco's character, suggests the missive, which then gets misheard as massive, and Lorenzo then suggests the gigantic massive PP.
God help.
So that's how that came about, is everyone's colloquial idiocism.
That was a lot.
Yep. So that's how that came about. That's why Marco's bringing it up, the gigantic massive peepee.
This is the expression I make.
And
I'm
Marco
wearing a mask right now. Oh,
Marco will fight for the name to be the Ruby Missive.
I can't believe my son is not
Because
the
Marco's
one
obsessed with
who
red.
produced the PP.
Right?
Yeah.
Somehow he's not the one responsible for this.
This time.
This time.
Then again, Voss has had a tight hold on Marco's leash because...
I thought you said a tight hole, and I was like...
No. A tight hold on Marco's leash because it is a PG-13 stream. And we can't have Marco talking about how much he wants to slurp balls.
Yeah?
I mean, let the man drink boba.
That's perfect.
Let my son drink boba if he so wishes. I made my character specifically Ace for that reason. Oh, good
Yep.
for you. Well, he said it.
He sure did. Speaking of boba, I want boba so much.
I want boba now.
I want boba tea. I want rose boba tea. It sucks because there's only like one place that sells rose tea, and it's fucking 85C Bakery. Everywhere else doesn't sell it.
85C Bakery, wasn't that... hold on a minute, my brain's working. All I can think of is Haveen. Never mind, I'm not gonna try and think. I'm not gonna try and do anything productive. I'm sorry.
So there may
Wasn't
be a special
that was the
image
bakery
coming
you
out
took us
tomorrow.
to.
Yeah. It's the one that's next to the Tokyo-ya, the izakaya.
Yes. Okay. That makes more sense. So special image, you say?
Yes, there's going to be a special image coming out tomorrow, probably, for Halloween.
Hi, Petra.
Hi, Petra. Which is the
Petra.
reason why Moon's brain is just on Haveen.
Mhm.
Because we were just shortening the word Halloween at each other until it just morphed into something else.
Haveen.
Havini.
It's not even with an A. It's just H-Veen.
Yep.
Havini.
Haveen.
At least I wasn't the one who said Halden.
Yep, I said Halden.
Holding these nuts. Got it. Sorry.
Octoberween. I don't know what Zach said anymore. It immediately fell out of my brain.
Good. You would have hated it.
I mean, I hate a lot of things.
But meanwhile, you're just constantly sticking your face in my boobs right now.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
I'm reading the chat, so my head goes.
It's their safe place.
Mokuri, mokuri.
Moon
That
is
means, like,
absolutely the
voice
one who's
fish.
just like, death by snoo snoo. Death by
Death
snoo.
by-
Snoo, snoo. Death by snoo,
Okay,
snoo.
but we already know what that led to, and it led to my VTuber being turned into a snail.
Yep. Yep.
Snurse.
Snurse.
Nurse.
Take me to Snurse.
Can't believe Curse killed 1 billion people or whatever the fuck.
6
Yep.
billion.
6 billion people. It's all Curse's fault.
I mean, it would be more of Curse's fault if they had eaten them, but no.
No. They just discouraged a lady from running on the path leading to her getting brutally murdered.
I'm just confused. I'm still confused why that would discourage her from going down that path. Like, just step
Because she
over
didn't
the
want to step
motherfucker.
on the snail.
But it was only one snail. Just step around it.
I know, right?
Like, hello? Who does
How big is that snail?
Here's my question. Was the rest of the path just full of snails? Was it a gaggle of snails? which changed
It was
the
6
course of
billion
history?
snails.
6 billion snails. That
Well,
snail been fuck. Listen, with the amount snails fuck and produce, there could have been 6 billion snails on that path. That lady probably could have. It probably was like, ew, and then ran the other way.
Yep.
Because they be fucking out there.
well, I mean, yeah.
No.
What I think it is just one of those things where it's like, it's just,
Sometimes people are arbitrary.
yes.
Snack. I think he means snail. Octoberween, yes.
Try again, Zach. I'm sure you can figure it out.
It's just one of those psychological things where, like, the smallest thing just takes you off your normal rhythm, and then they're just like, "There's a snail here." No, I'm going this way.
I'm done with this shit. Snail broke the camel's back. Meredith, why? Every goddamn time we sit down to stream, you show up. Every time I play a video game, you show up.
What do you mean Pippin's not there to touch me on the screen?
Pippin is not there to touch you on the screen because you are not on my screen.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, you're technically on my screen, but not the screen he usually sees. Like, the screen he sees when he is down on the ground is my main one. I can go get him.
No, that's okay.
Did I show you the pictures? Both Mary and him, when we were watching movies, were getting up there because they wanted the movie. Mary had never seen a movie, to be fair, because Mary's always hiding. So when she wanted the dinosaurs that were in the movie, and she was looking behind the TV to look for where the dinosaurs were.
That's funny.
She was very cute.
Yeah, no, you didn't share those pictures. You only shared the baby pictures.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, that was also a couple days ago. Let me see if I can. I'll throw them into the animals chat in Discord.
AKA the pics of everything else.
Yes.
'Cause I don't think I have an animal pick
That's fine.
specific one. I should. Just to encourage people to post about their pets.
More cats. More
Wow,
cats.
that's just a good Pippin picture.
So I didn't do too much this week other than play Project Zomboid a lot.
Yeah, kind of same.
You got the October flavor.
Yep. And then
how many times have you died, Leaf?
at least 4.
How many of those were a result of me making bad choices, Leaf?
Either you... Okay, I think like 2 of them was you and 1 of them was Marco. Because here's how Project Zomboid works for us, is Zach or Marco is just like, yes, let's go out and kill a bunch of zombies, or let's go out and get something, and on the way kill a bunch of zombies. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Sure, I'll come along, but I'm not as good at the game, and I keep forgetting that I suck at combat. And so we go out, and I end up getting bitten by zombies while trying to fight them off. Because I always end up picking, like, the wrong direction to walk, or end up walking into the zombies somehow, or just... I don't know. The game sucks on mouse and keyboard sometimes.
Look, it's fine.
I think the most recent one was the one where you got me bit.
When we went to go get wood?
You went to get cigarettes.
That was the 4th time.
Mm-hmm.
No, the one before that, Marco, was the one that got me killed. Because I forget what we were doing. We were going to pick up something or something along the way and decided to fight zombies.
Previous body?
I think it may have been Marco's previous body, yeah.
Because, like, Marco died, and they left all their stuff there.
And
they're like, hey, let's go get it back. And both of you died again.
There's one time that it wasn't anyone's fault but mine, and that was when we were transporting stuff from Grandma's house to the new house. And
name. I'm gonna name it Rhizome 9.
Okay. And I was driving the blue box truck, and it kept dying on me.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, like, I think I got out of the car to get rid of some of the zombies in the road so that I wouldn't have such a hard time, and ended up getting overwhelmed because, like, 5 zombies came out of the wood. Moon will be right back. They forgot their laundry.
I see.
But yeah. We did manage to get Moon to play for a little bit. And hopefully the next time they play, it won't be so hard on them. Because we've eliminated a lot of the zombie threat. So now it's just the low numbers that are respawning.
Yeah.
And also the other towns. The other towns are dangerous. But I'm hoping now that I'm not, like, running out and about, I can sit down with Moon and be like, okay, here's things that you can do that don't involve combat.
Like farming.
You can do farming, you can do cooking, you can do carpentry. If you would rather not do any of those and you want to do combat, you can do combat. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you what you can do. Why'd my phone go off? Mom's making pot stickers.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Petra got bitten because they tripped over a fence or fell through a window wrong. Yep. That's, you know what? Project Zomboid should just be changed to be called Dumb Ways to Die. Tripped over a chair and got bitten by a zombie. Fell out a window.
Decided to just walk into a fog.
Walking through the fog. You know, Silly things like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Rogue? What have you done this week?
Well, let's see. I played Project Zomboid.
Mm-hmm.
Went to D&D yesterday. Took
Mm-hmm.
John Bosco to the airport today.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I went grocery shopping today. Because as I've mentioned before, I am on a new diet, basically. So I'm having to buy food every week to supplement said diet, and it's getting expensive. So I'm shopping around.
Diversifying the pickup methodology.
Yep. Well, it's not the pickup methodology, because I actually have to go shopping at the place I bought things today.
Well, I just mean by picking things up in a literal sense, not
the
who's it.
But yeah, it's interesting. Winco, the store that I went to, it's actually more expensive for some things than Walmart. Like lemons, it's more expensive to buy lemons and apples there.
And then because of the supplier?
Maybe. And then there's just some things that straight up you can't even get at Winco. But there's also stuff you can't get at Walmart either. Like Boston lettuce.
That's basically what my parents have been doing for a while. Like we used to basically be exclusively Walmart for most of my childhood and into high school. And then at some point when I was in like the mid elementary school kind of stuff, my mom was diversifying because like we were on the side of the river that had the Aldi. And like that like cut some of our food expenses, but only on specific things. And it seems to be like basically the more options you have, the more you can kind of balance your budget toward cheaper offerings.
Yeah.
Like at least around here.
I mean, one thing that was helpful for me was being able to actually have the Walmart app on my phone and look at the prices and then compare it to the price that was at Winco. Instead of having to like go to Winco and just be like, well, everything else is cheaper here, or maybe it'll be cheaper at Walmart, or everything is always cheaper here. Like some people I know.
Does Walmart still do price match?
I don't know.
That'd be something you should probably look into.
I mean, maybe, but like it's haggling over cents kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
They're saying it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. One thing I can confirm is that Fred Meyer, aka Kroger, is much more expensive out here than most of the others. And it's not... I mean, there is a Fred Meyer in that area. It's just harder to get to because it's not on the main roads that I usually drive.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, baby. It's okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Huh.
It was horrible. Like, I watched the video for it, and, like, it works as suggested, but it's just a terrible idea. Like,
sounds like a terrible idea.
Why would you want the quote-unquote physicality of doing that in a virtual space? It doesn't make any sense. Like, shopping coming down to selection and list-based stuff is, like, the optimized version of that. Why would you want... Oh yeah, I have to go to this aisle, and then they've put this up at this top, and it's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. That seems pretty ridiculous because it's much easier to just go onto a website, see all the offerings, pick out the offering you want, put it into your cart, and then pay for it and go pick it up at the store.
Yeah.
Or even better, have it delivered.
Yeah.
Which the main reason I don't do the delivery stuff is because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Same
most of
here.
them deliver to my area, so...
Another thing that we have in common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, enough of this mask.
Yeah, Petra, that is very true. Is why, physically shop in VR when you can just physically shop in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mary Duck, come on.
I don't know.
Every 2 seconds with this.
Reality doesn't make sense
One there.
anymore,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's that people who are extremely out of touch with their user basis and environment come up with reinventing the dumbest shit. Like, that's why when they talk about, like, Silicon Valley bros, like, they will reinvent, like, renting and, like, buses and things like that because they're so out of touch with how people actually get places.
Yeah. Or,
It's Mark Zuckerberg who's forgotten what it's like to fucking shop in a store and is like, oh, people love to do that in VR. I would like to do that in VR. And it's like, are you kidding me, you fucking little weirdo?
I think my favorite version of reinventing the wheel was Uber and Lyft. They reinvented the taxi.
Yeah. Made it worse.
Reinvented it and made it worse, yes.
It's a fucking, what do you call that? Cycle of human suffering. Like,
yep.
It's just, ugh. I know that a lot of people, and some of our friends even make fucking a living through the, like, delivery stuff, but it's like, a lot of people get really fucked over by those two companies.
Yeah.
Actually, aren't they one company now?
I think Lyft and Uber are still separate companies.
Somebody bought somebody. Maybe it was Postmates got bought.
I believe it was Postmates who got bought by, Uber Eats.
Okay. Yeah, just, like...
Like, that at least, the delivery of food, in particular, is kind of new, because, yes, you have a bunch of places that have in-house delivery drivers, such as pizza places, but a lot of, like, food places that you could go out and get food to eat at don't have that same service, because it's way too expensive for them. So, having a company that they sublet out to and just charge a little bit more on the website so that they can cover tips and everything, like, that's a lot better in the long run. But the major problem is that the drivers just don't get paid a lot, and you often run into a problem of, for example, like some of our friends have mentioned, is they only take specific orders where they're making enough to cover their gas.
Yeah. So you're not going, like, 50 minutes out of your way to make $10.
Exactly. Or they won't accept an order that's under $15, or, similar kinds of things.
Yeah.
Now, I know that a lot of those drivers also get by taking up a bunch of orders that are kind of in a circuit. So, like, they pick up a bunch of Jack-in-the-Box orders, and they go and pick up all the orders and then deliver them to the different people that ordered them.
Yeah.
Or, alternatively, there's a Jack-in-the-Box that's right next to a Taco Bell around here. They take Jack-in-the-Box and Taco Bell orders, so that they're basically in the same neighborhood, so they don't have to go driving 15 minutes to go pick up Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But, the rideshare thing, like, that in particular was just reinventing the wheel, reinventing taxis. And it worked. The worst part is, it worked. Nobody stopped to go, oh, you're just making a taxi service, except you're not, like, paying people as much.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, most taxi drivers are self-owned. At most, they might,
that I don't know about.
They might be part of a company, but they don't get paid through the company. It's literally what they make when they do the drive and they charge you.
Yeah.
But also, taxis in general have kind of gone out of fashion.
Okay, so like I think that it was a perfect storm of taxis having a bad rep by that point,
Mm-hmm.
and people wanting alternative ways to make money. And so like the crosswise, it's like, oh yeah, it's just, like somebody from your town, not like
Yeah.
being called out from like a taxi service in a city, like being able to come pick you up. And people were like, ah, okay, yeah. Because like the first time I had that happen, like where I became aware of that was when my cousin ordered us an Uber to take us back to our hotel when we were visiting her in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was just somebody from their neighborhood who did the pickup.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was like getting into somebody's mom's car. Like, it was and I haven't been in an Uber since then, as you might be able to tell. So
luckily, I've been in a couple of Ubers, and I've never had, like, a bad experience with an Uber or Lyft. But I will definitely say that, like, I've had a bad experience of having to wait a while because the person couldn't find the location.
Yeah. See, like, there was all that stuff where people were, like... There were people trying to scam people into getting into their car.
Yeah.
By using stuff, and...
Yeah.
And then there's also just, like... There's at least accountability connected with taxis because they have all of their information posted on the back of the seats.
Mm-hmm.
And that they are beholden to at least a company who like cashes them out.
Yeah.
So, like, if you are like, hey, this fucking blows, this guy was fucking crazy, like, he swore at me or something, like some actual complaint, not just the person, taking a little too long.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I had a bad taxi ride was this dude who definitely was riding me for money. He thought I was an out-of-towner, and he took the wrong way on purpose.
Yeah.
No, not funny. I felt like I was being abducted.
Oh.
I was very upset at the end of that ride. I could not find... At the time, the infrastructure for reporting was not good enough, so I was just furious and upset at the end, so...
Did you let him know that they went the wrong way on purpose?
Yeah. No, I told him, and he was like, no, it's fine. And I was like, no, it's not. My school's the other way. He took me, so, I don't, for the Chicago locals, he took me up toward the Merchandise Mart when I was supposed to be by Daily Plaza, which is, like, a large loop out of the way of the loop. So it took me, he took me on a 30-minute ride that should have been, under 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, but that was when reporting was not, like, as much a thing at the time. Now they have, like, actual reporting services for all of those things. But I wouldn't, unless the Uber people really treated me bad, I would not report anybody. I don't want to, like, make someone get their their whole situation revoked, which may be their own source of
I think I
income.
did rate the person who, like, couldn't find the place that I was at badly, and that was just because, like, it wasn't just she couldn't find the place that I was currently located. She couldn't find her way to the main streets, and she couldn't find her way to the location that I wanted her to go. And it's just like, you literally have your phone right there. It is telling you directions.
Yeah.
What disconnect is happening here? Like, especially because, like, when she'd take a wrong turn, I would immediately, like, start panicking and be like, oh god, this is it, I'm gonna get taken to a butcher shop.
She might have been doing the exact same thing that the taxi driver was doing to me.
Could be.
Where it was extending the ride so that she would have more money.
Yeah. Which, that's fucked up.
Why are people?
Because people need money, and we need money to live, and everything is inherently bad because capitalism. Anyway,
and greed.
Cosine. I need to get my husband ice cream. I will be back.
Okay.
His sore throat is bugging him. So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I will put on another mask, this time of my own face, and BRB.
And then go right into my tits.
I mean, it's a safe. It's a safe place. Kitty warm and soft.
But yeah, I will never really shit on like the food delivery drivers because that kind of stuff like was actually needed. But the whole reinventing the taxi was funny. And I think also the other part of it was Uber designed a really good app. And that was the thing, is taxi services don't have apps. Hi, Thomas.
Hello.
So you can't really like go onto an app and then select, hey, I want to take a taxi and I want to go from here to here and only pay this much. Whereas Uber absolutely made that app happen, on top of it being a service that, it's just like your neighbor who's coming to pick you up from the airport.
Yeah. Either way, I don't like either because I can't deal with random people half the time.
Yeah.
I remember I used to. Well, there was this issue one time when I was in grade school where it's like they switched the district.
Mm-hmm.
And the school I was going to, it's like, oh, the school buses can't go to your place because it was out of district, yada yada. So for a short time, they had a taxi come pick me up.
Oh gosh.
It was very awkward.
I'll bet. Especially because you're a kid and, like, your parents aren't going to go to school with you.
Yeah.
So having a random stranger come to your house and pick you up to go to school when you're a kid, that's terrifying.
Yep.
That's like, this is exactly what they warned us about in the cartoons about not, like, taking candy from strangers and not getting into strange cars.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened.
It's whatever. I think the worst part about it is I rode with this one kid one day, and another kid who was same situation, and I forgot my Game Boy on the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher called and was like, "Hey, they've got," and it's like, "Oh, it's not in the taxi." The other kid took it.
Oh, jeez.
But then, like, a week later, we were in the same thing again, and he pulled it out and was like, "Hey, that's my Game Boy." It's like, "Oh, man, I didn't know. It was just sitting here in the seat." So I got it back.
Well, at least you got it back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't know, so I'm just going to take it. It's just like, kids are interesting that way, where they have that logic of, oh, well, it's here.
If nobody's here.
And if nobody is here with it, I'm just going to take it and it's mine now.
Yeah.
Like, finders keepers rules is just...
Like, we went to the same school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming he just assumed that it had been there from someone else.
No.
Yeah, but, like, as an adult, you see that and you'd be like, oh, hey, Mr. Taxi Driver, someone left this behind. Do you want to hold on to it in case that person comes looking for it?
Yeah, but kids have no logic, so that's why I was like, the kid, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just here.
As a kid, it's here, I want it, I'm taking it.
Ooh, free Game Boy.
Yeah. I mean, the alternative is he intentionally took it with the intention of stealing it, but I don't think he thought that far.
Yeah, little
I
kids
don't think he
have that
thought.
setup. That setup and execution is a little rough.
We don't put them in a box, we put them in our houses, okay? Just like Moon did today with a cat.
Yeah.
You need help, so I'll help you. By the way, you're mine now. Puts them in house.
Yeah, she's in a cage right now in the back.
Yep.
She's getting acclimated. Actually, to be more correct, she's in the Dr. Pepper box. It's a large Dr. Pepper box, so it's not like she's in one of those skinny ones. And it has a cat bed in it, so she has a place to hide because she was very scared. She had never been picked up by a human before, so I'm holding her, and she's just like small hamburger hold. Like, she did not know what to do, but she'd just start to shake. So I was like, okay, we need to get you a tiny space to hide.
Oh.
That's the instinct that cats have when they're in a stress situation.
It's to shake?
Well, to shake and hide. So, and like, that's what I learned from Pippin. Pippin, in the first 3 months I had him, he liked to hide in things because he didn't know how to deal with the stress of new things. So, like, he loved to be in the folds of the comforter that I'd put in for them to lay on. And he had the Pippin pocket, which I think I've regaled you with tales of before. Which is just a cat bed that's a pocket. And then eventually he stopped needing that because he got comfortable with his surroundings.
Yeah. I got lucky. Mina was not like that as a kitten. Mina was very bold and very self-assured.
I mean, she came out the womb fucking screaming, "Hey, feed me! Hey, I can't see shit! Feed me!" She was very tiny and screaming.
All kittens do that.
I know, but like, she continued to not be able to see, so she's like, "Hey!"
Yeah. There was a video I watched where a frog got stuck in a pool cover, so they cut the frog out. Then you think they would release it. No, the video ends with them preparing a box and keeping it inside. Made such a video gross to watch. Okay.
I mean, was that because the frog got hurt? Like, having to cut it out of the thing sounds like it was
terrifying. That's what I was gonna say, is that I've had to do that with like certain animals that get stuck in things, because basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to watch them and make sure that there's no lingering injuries before you release them back into the wild. Because if this animal has a broken foot because it was stuck in a net and it tried to rip itself out, it's not going to survive in the wild if you put it back in the wild. It's better if you are able to take care of them in a safe environment and then let them back out into the wild. And I mostly know that because Mina, the wonderful hunter that she is, brought a live baby squirrel to me in the morning. And what did we do? We caught the squirrel and we put it in a box to make sure that it was okay before releasing it like 2 hours later. We didn't keep the squirrel.
I mean, you could have made it have a little jungle gym, like in that one video outside.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
Trained it to become the smartest squirrel in the world.
Yes. They are better, as my mom likes to say, they are better than monkeys.
I mean, they're very smart, considering they are small rodents.
And they also can just run up a tree with their little fingies, so.
Yep. Squirrels are rodents, but they're good rodents.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
There's that actually seems the frog was unharmed, but some things really didn't only appear later. As for cat behavior... Oh my goodness.
Gentle kitty.
I would hate that cat. That cat would be out of my house so fast and into a shelter because spiders. Ugh.
The cat would come live with me.
Yeah, because you like spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, you don't have like super dangerous spiders out there, so.
Oh, we do. We have black widows and shit.
Okay, you don't have super dangerous spiders that decide to charge at you.
Yes, we do not have the spiders that are so aggro that they will get mad at you for making them fall out of your pant legs.
Yeah.
Or get aggro at you for turning on the light in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or for just looking at them.
Yep. Or for just sitting, at your desk and they fall on your leg.
And just bite you.
And scare the shit out of you. I'm still terrified of it happening again. Anyway, we should get to the game.
Yeah. Game time.
Let me see. And I have to bring them back. And then move myself. There we go. I've moved myself. You two are back. Moon is slightly blocking Zach.
Get fucked, idiot.
Wow.
I mean, it's fine.
Game capture. AI.